Kesh Foundation, an independent, non-profit, non-religious, space-based organization founded by nuclear engineer Mehran Tavakoli Kesh, is introducing to humanity the science of the universe, plasma science. Kesh Foundation develops universal knowledge and space technologies that provide solutions to major global problems, revolutionizing agriculture, health, energy, transportation, materials, and more. The application of plasma science in the form of specially developed plasma reactors and other devices will give humanity the real freedom to travel in deep space. Plasma science exists throughout the whole universe. It is here and it belongs to you. Our knowledge, research, and development regarding the plasma structure has progressed to the point of enabling everyone to participate in the process. Become a creator and understand the work of the universe for the good of humankind on this planet as well as in space. The use of megravs, nanomaterials, GANs, liquid plasma, field plasma, and other plasma technologies have come as a new dawn for humanity to progress and work in harmony with the universe. Conventional technology applications are wasteful, damaging, and cause pollution to the planet and all living beings. Plasma science provides solutions and improves existing methods and use of resources in all aspects that touch the lives of all beings. Plasma is defined by the Foundation as an entire content of fields which accumulate and create matter and is not defined by its physical characteristics like ionization or temperature. Also, with plasma science, we understand how we can convert matter back to the fields. Quoting from Mr. Kesh, MEGRAV stands for magnetic gravitational, which means plasma absorbs or gives. And every plasma has the both. It has give and it has take. And when they can't find the balance, they distance themselves until they find the balance they can give to the others. That they can receive what they want to receive and give further. Certain atoms and molecules release and absorb magnetic or gravitational fields. Released fields are available to be absorbed by other objects. The Kesh Foundation has developed a way to gather these free-flowing fields from the environment within a resourceful and beneficial new state of transitional matter, which MT Kesh named GANs. The first step of the process of the formation of various basic types of GANs is nano-coating metals. This is carried out either chemically by etching, steam coating with sodium hydroxide, or thermally by heating, fire coating by gas burner. During either coating process, gaps between outermost layers of atoms are created. The residual coating is often referred to as nano-coating, defined by the structured layers of nanomaterial, which build up during the creation process of the coating. Nano-coated metal in interaction with other various metal plates in a saltwater solution creates megrav fields. These fields then attract available elements to form a specific GANs, which collects and settles at the bottom of the container. This GANs is formed from independent energized molecules like little suns that can be used in various applications.
The Kesh Foundation is extending an invitation to medical doctors of any practice and speciality to apply to the Foundation's private weekly medical teaching workshop. This includes medical doctors, dentists, and veterinarians. Scientists of the Kesh Foundation developed different types of plasma therapies and cures that utilize advanced, non-invasive plasma technology. The weekly private medical teaching workshop educates doctors to the plasma science behind the therapies, along with the functionality and operation of revolutionary plasma medical devices. The goal of the private teachings is to add plasma health knowledge to the profound knowledge of medical doctors. The weekly class is broadcast live over the internet through a secure private channel every Wednesday from 2 to 5 p.m. Central European Time. Presently, the class is only offered in English. However, you are free to bring a translator to the class. If you can't participate in the live broadcast, you can watch them later at your convenience through a private internet portal. Every patient's case that is discussed in the workshop will be kept anonymous and private. This includes cataloged findings and data gained from the analysis of the patient's health issues. Any medical doctor in the world who wants to participate can do so by sending an email to doctors@spaceshipinstitute.org. In your email, please state your willingness to participate in the medical teaching workshop. If you're planning on bringing a translator to the workshop, please state this in your email as well. After we receive your email, we will contact you with the instructions on how to apply to the workshop. As a part of the application process, applicants who apply, including any translators brought into the workshop, will be required to sign the Keshe Foundation's World Peace Treaty, which can be found at the following web address. All applicants will be required to provide proof of their education and ability to practice medicine, and will also be required to pass an extensive security background check before they are granted access to the teaching workshop. Healthful plasma technology is here, now, the use of which is increasing exponentially on a day-to-day basis on every continent. We encourage you to come and learn about this revolutionary technology. Apply today. The Keshe Foundation is extending an invitation to experienced farmers, agricultural specialists, and researchers to apply to the Foundation's private weekly agriculture teaching workshops. If you fall into one of these categories and are interested in plasma technology integration into agriculture, you're invited to apply. Scientists and agricultural practitioners of the Keshe Foundation continually develop and apply new methods of food and fiber production, soil fertility management, plant and livestock health management, and increased farm productivity using the most advanced plasma technology that is taught at the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute. In the teaching workshop, you'll learn the science of plasma technology and its applications in the field of agriculture for enhanced and equitable global food production while minimizing costs and external inputs. Practicing farmers and Keshe Foundation scientists will demonstrate their application of plasma technology in agriculture and the ensuing results of such applications, thus deepening and enriching learning for all participants in the private teachings. Participants are encouraged to demonstrate their farming practices in the teaching workshop. The private teachings are broadcast in English live over the internet through a secure private channel every Wednesday at 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Central European Time. If necessary, you may bring a translator to the workshop. All applications are required to provide proof of their education and professional qualifications, must pass a security background check, and are required to sign the Keshe Foundation's World Peace Treaty, which can be found at the following web address. Translators that attend must also pass a security check and sign the World Peace Treaty. For details on how to join the private teachings in agriculture, send an email to agriculture@kfssi.org stating that you'd like to participate. Include in the email your education and agricultural experience and reasons for your interest in plasma technology. Applicants will be contacted with further instructions and details on the application process.
Welcome, everyone, to the 179th Knowledge Seekers Workshop of the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute. It's Thursday, July 6th, 2017. And today, being July 6th, is the anniversary, 1-year anniversary of the passing of Fabio Alfonso. And today we'd like to dedicate a video that was put together by Flint Mulhausen as a dedication to the passing of Fabio. Okay, so I'll share that video now, and after that we will have another presentation. Okay, let me get that set up here. Okay, just so people know, it's good for background that Fabio passed in an automobile accident on July 6, 2016. And also his girlfriend was involved in the accident and was in a coma for a good part of the last year. And Flint has put together a video entitled The Recovery Progress from Naomi, and I'd like to play that now.
Monella, mi lascia, mi lascia, mi lascia. Ma prende il volo, ma prende il volo.
Dritta, no, 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 dritta, dritta, brava. Su, girati, brava. In piedi, dritta, 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 più dritta, dritta, brava. In piedi, dritta, brava. Già te. Prendi, oh, sì, sì. Bravissimo.
Okay, that's the end of the video for the recovery of Naomi. Thank you very much, Flint. That was very nice. Okay, now I think we're going to move into a presentation by Vince and Stanley, or Vince.
I think, sorry.
Oops, we have an echo there.
It'll be appropriate if Giovanni was here with us to say some words. Giovanni?
Hi, Sakesh.
Can you speak?
Good
Yes.
morning. Good morning to everybody. Good morning.
Would you like to say anything you like?
Yes, Sakesh. First of all, I want to thank you to you and to your family and to everybody that have supported me in this period. And what you have seen is it's only a part. Naomi, it's improve better that you have seen, and the problem is not a problem of the brain, but a problem of block of articulation. Articulation block, because the physiotherapist in hospital don't have work on articulation and or for to talk and so on, because she thinks that died, and so they don't want to lose. They didn't want to lose time with her. So the difficulties that she have is that she can't move. For this reason, but now I try to solve the problem with physiotherapist. I think that very soon she can walk again, and so I want to say to you that all the work that was done, that you teach me with the soul, with the guns and so on. I've worked very, very good, and the same. The physiotherapists have difficulties because this proving is so fast that every time that they come with the program, she go forward, and they can't apply the program. So I think that very soon the improving can be faster. I hope that very soon we can listen again his voice. I think in this is difficult to say, to describe, but I see the eye was changed. Appear like a new person, appear like a new soul. that have the look of the eyes is very deep. And one of work that I made it over the guns and other things was when I dream near the bed for 1 year with her. All the night I put my hand in his hand and feel like my neurosystem was connected to her neurosystem. And I transmit all the information of my brain to her brain. After a few minutes, my hand and her hand disappear. We became like one. And I try to put in connection my soul with her soul and my brain to her brain. This was good because improved the recovery and stay better. To the other side, I take a part of like a part of is damage. So the right mirror part now it's became weaker, and so I push now for training that part, because I know if I push that part, she improved too, because we are in connection now. And I think that this was very interesting to say, because I have seen that it's really something that is happening in this way. So I won't tell you again from the deeper part of my heart, thank you from me, from Naomi, for my family, from all. Every day we think to Fabio too, and today we go in to pray for him. And now I'm really concentrating on Naomi. After when I solved the problem of Naomi, I start to work very hard with Fabio. And the next step for Naomi is completely to have the completely recovering. I give to her the guns of CO2, zinc, CH3, and I notice that the humor is changed. It's like a child. Naomi don't want this, don't was in this way, and now she wants to play continuously. Have too much love, won't kiss everybody, and always joking. It's very strange to see her in this way. It's wonderful, amazing. This is a very big trouble of what's happened, but it's a bless, because it's a wonderful being now, really. It's completely different of before. And it's a pleasure, it's an honor, stay with her and play with her, and help to improving. I do what I can for help her. And I prepare for the next step, because I know a lesson that you say, Sirkesh, about the cancer, that the cancer can have two reasons. One can be the seed, and the other can be a trauma. Naomi received a big trauma of this. So now I am alert, because I don't know in the future if can develop this kind of problem. So I try to be ready from now. And so I start to study again and prepare for this things can be happen. I hope no, but if happen, I won't be ready. And so I want to tell you and to everybody, thank you very much for all the praying, for what you have done for Naomi and my family, Fabio too. And I hope to give you very soon good news from her. Thank you again.
Thank you very much, Giovanni. As many of us know, she has survived a horrendous accident. And when we look at the MRI brain of hers and the bone, when you saw the hip was fractured, totally separated, which usually leads that kind of accidents to death. She was sent to the hospital to die, but Giovanni would not give up. Everything possible he could do, using all sorts of materials which he made himself, ganses, helmets, patches, has been used, and we see the change. She'll be with us very soon in totality. Unfortunately, we lost Fabio, and there is not more or less a day I don't remember him. In so many ways, we celebrate their life, and we celebrate both lives. Naomi will be with us back very soon, hopefully. The way we set it up, the way it's working, it shows there is a new way in the world of medicine. And there is a new way in processing human body. We do not need to go through what we go through, and we kept that way. I thank Giovanni. He has devoted his life to his daughter, and if it wasn't him, I don't think any other father would have been able to pull this beautiful girl from where she was to where she is, and we see her coming out. I saw her a few weeks ago before I leave for Ghana, and very soon, maybe in the next 6 months, 12 months, we see her back to maximum normality. As Giovanni say, she's become very cheeky. Maybe she's enjoying the second chance to live, and she has started from beginning. She knows everybody, which is one of the biggest problems with accidents like this, and she knows how to play. And usually when you remember play and music, you get a full recovery. We'll see what comes up. We have saved her up to now with the new technology. I would like those who claim life cannot be recovered, they can see it can be. With the new technology, there is every chance to bring people out of coma. And we see this clearly. The hip damage, the bone damage, we can't even see the fractures anymore. We'll see most probably next year, this time she'll be with us. She will tell us and will joke with us. We bless Fabio's soul. I was the last person who spoke to him, and I was the last person who saw his coffin being sealed. The life of our nation has changed because of his passing. We left the premises because none of us could work in those premises. There was so much joy and laughter. You saw many kisses and cuddles. This was how both of them were, even in the office. You walked into the office, they were both sitting next to each other, two secretaries watching the door at the same time. We couldn't separate them. And there was nothing but joy and laughter between the two of them. They brought a lot of joy to us. And in so many ways, we remember Fabio for what he brought us, and we celebrated life of Naomi in a time to come. It's no good going back to what happened and how did it happen, but we all know how this accident was set up. And the hand of those who is in it is where will be opened up for those who do know. We should celebrate the life, the beautiful life these two had together, and they brought so much joy to all of us. The technology is complete, and as Giovanni said, Naomi was sent to a section of the hospital that only one other body ever came alive out of that section. They were sent to die, and she was sent there to complete her cycle. But with the devotion and love of the Father, and he literally relentlessly produced all sorts of cancers and everything possible, day and night putting it around her. He has brought her back, and we will celebrate her life. Most probably she'll tell us how happy she was when she sees these pictures of playing and joyfulness. As we are all aware, we started the teaching of the soul in past few weeks, and in a very simple way, Giovanni explained it in a complete cycle. A father giving from his soul to his child to recover, and he tells you where it's weaker, because that's where she's taking, because he can give to, in so many ways, regenerate life. It will take a long time, a long time, for man to understand the gift of this technology, unless you're touched by it. There are many people who want to see miracles, and they want to see free energies, and they promote all sorts of things against the work of science the way it is. But these videos and these pictures speak on their own. We let the doctors in a time to come who met her when she arrived in the hospital, and then who she is and where she becomes in the coming time, to speak. This is a miracle of knowledge and science. Giovanni and I many times looked at the MRIs, we looked at everything possible to see where the damage is and what he can do. And as a father, he did everything possible, using the technology to its maximum. And in time, he will teach how to do for the other families who are in the same situation. We needed between 3 to 5 months for the total stability of the brain and the body before we could bring the body out of coma. And this is how it was done. The repairs was done during the time when she was in coma. According to the doctors and present medicine, she should have never come out of coma, she should have never survived. We teach, hopefully Giovanni will teach other families who are in the same position how to do, what to do to get their children out of coma, the fathers and the mothers. I will not do it. He's done it. He's got a certificate as a medical man, and he can teach. But the interesting is how many other ways we can use this technology with a different kind of brain damage, hip damage. If we look at the hip, if you can bring the X-ray up, you will see something very strange. The doctors would not operate. The fracture was so deep and so separated, and it was impossible. That was the cause of death, would have been the cause of death. And most of people with this kind of fracture die because you look at the hip is centimeters apart. And you can see the broken arm and legs. These are repairable. But usually with hip fracture, and separation, which is two parts of the body totally separated, without any operation to achieve what has been achieved, is a miracle of science. We have to wait and see. If you can go on the X-ray of the hip, you can see it directly. The fracture and no fracture. And it's taken very little time to bring that in. You can see it in one of these pictures. The separation is huge. No operation whatsoever. And it was so close to the spinal cord that the doctors refused operation because they thought she would not survive. We can't even see the fractures anymore. This is the beauty of it. And in time, the world of science will use this technology to do these kind of miracles. They are accusing the foundation to be a health system. You can see the fracture there on the left, right on the hip, next to the spinal cord. And then if you come to the other side, you will see at the bottom, total broken bones. Now we look at it, there is no fracture. We cannot even see the point of it. The body has totally recovered. This is why they would not do the operation despite that she was sent to die. Because these kind of hip fractures without operation is unrepairable. And it leads to death. Poisoning of the bone marrow, and what comes from the bone usually leads to death. But you can see everything is absolutely perfect. I would like to know which doctor can say this is not a miracle. Which doctor can say the technology has not done its job. If I would have been given a chance to have access to Fabio, if he would have lasted just a few more days than instant death, I would have brought him back. I have the knowledge, and I have the pleasure to enjoy the knowledge. And I have the pleasure to share my knowledge with the people who care to use it. This is the right of every mother and every father to have their child, even in these horrendous conditions. We are unique at Keshe Foundation because we understand the essence of creation. You take these X-rays to a doctor and show the girl. She's standing up, she's walking without any operation, without any damage.
Hello, Mr. Keshe, are you there? I think we may have lost Mr. Keshe's connection there briefly. So bear with us, he should be back shortly. Does anyone have any information in the background when Mr. Keshe might be back?
No feedback so far.
Okay. I'll let this play through maybe silently here, and actually it's time for our minute of silence that we can do. So maybe let's have a minute of silence this time around in tribute to Fabio and Naomi, and to the hope that's brought through the way the Keshe Foundation operates, and through the wishes and so on of Mr. Keshe as well, of course. Okay, so let's have a minute of silence to ponder this phenomenon.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we were just having a minute of silence. We finally agreed to have a minute of silence after there was 2 or 3 minutes of silence, and sure enough, you came back, so that's okay.
Thank you very much. We have a bad reception, as you know, in these places. It's not easy to reach in. All the components, all the pieces you see, it's what Giovanni has made from his experience of being around foundation and advice. And this has led to what we see, a life back for the father to enjoy. We've been challenged if we can bring somebody back from coma. We have shown it can be done. Not only from coma, from absolute, what we call non-reversible condition according to the present world of medicine. We ask those parents who have children like this, or the mothers or the fathers who are in coma, we offer you the same chance. You do it at home. You don't need any medication. This is not a medicine. This is simply using the structure of the environment of the body of the man. The body does the repair. The body finds its position. Those who don't understand will accuse and dismiss. Those who understand, they understand there is no miracle. This is a pure understanding of the structure of the man. Many people want to see a power unit to show energy, and they don't accept a life to be saved. Those people don't even want to be around the foundation. In a way, they don't want living the life of a man, because to them, nothing has value. I celebrate the life of Naomi in so many ways, because in the long run, in a very simple way, the technology has proven its worth. It has saved a life. A father can hold the hand of her daughter and she can stand up. And very soon, you will understand that she'll be amongst us. To the present science, absolute impossibility. To the Keshe Foundation supporters and the people who use it, absolute reality. 1 year ago today, I was the last one who said goodbye to these two as they passed me in the car park. And exactly 1 year later, I can see her back. I have watched many videos and pictures that Giovanni sends to me on a regular basis to see the progress, to see what next step could be. But we have shown not a single doctor has done a single thing to save this life. As to them, with their knowledge, this life was finished. Now we have to see how we can bring this out and teach the others to do it. Maybe in the coming weeks, once we see the completion of the process with Naomi, we set and we put a program for Naomi to be shown and to be with us, and for Giovanni to teach other parents, other children, or whatever, how to bring your life back from coma, how to be able to give a second chance. As you've seen, the hospital has no facility, has no understanding. It's all done by the knowledge of the man and his work. And we teach this. We will teach this very, very simply, that others can follow. You follow the process for other purposes. Now you can literally bring back life. Those of you who are very fast, putting videos out, discrediting, please put this. That gives us a lot of discredibility. Thank you very much, Giovanni, and especially thank you very much, his wife. She's been there. She's been there like a solid rock. We watch the family going through a lot of pain, and we see the joys coming back to the house. The playfulness, what you see, what we saw every day, more or less. We will start a program, what we call, you see the joyfulness of, this is what she likes always to play, and Fabio was a perfect match for play. We're getting her back. I see the old Fabio playing with her, and we see now the sisters together. We will set up a program for coma. We teach, as Giovanni has a certificate of the medical practice, he will teach step by step his knowledge, how to get his daughter to stand up, as we see. That's a broken hip, as you saw. The two parts of the body were totally separate. That kind of, not a fracture, broken bone, no operation, will not allow such a position and such a gain. I have been through such a recovery myself, falling off a horse exactly 7, 8 years ago. And they all said it's impossible. Now we see it. To put the pressure on the hip to stand up, to put the pressure to be able to stand up. With no operation, usually they drill holes and put ropes and the strings, tying them together with platinum plates and everything else. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Miracle of nano-technology. Those who have to show something to your family is that there is a miracle possible. You can see this video. It is possible. It's pure technology. As we said, and I repeat, Giovanni said, she and only one more other person in 6 months she was in that hospital came ever alive out of that hospital. They were left in body bags. That's where they send them when there is no hope of life. I thank you for your soul, Fabio. And I thank you for your soul, Naomi. I'm sure you bring a lot of joy to all of us again. As we said, we had a part which we promised in time will be carried out. With the Keshe Foundation webmaster team and the directors of the Keshe Foundation who run the foundation now, have been working for some time, nearly 6 months, 12 months, to change the look of the Keshe Foundation on the web, on what we call on the website. I'll leave that pleasure to Stanley and Ella, who worked so hard to change, and they wanted the change to be today to celebrate the life of Fabio. I'll leave it with Stanley and Ella to explain what happened, and this is the new look of the Keshe Foundation. Thank you, both of you, and the webmaster team behind you for setting all this up. It's not complete, but it has started, and as of today, this is the new look for Keshe Foundation.
Hello everybody, Stanley here and Ella is sitting next to me.
Hello.
More than a year ago, we actually had a plan and Fabio was included. He was eager to help us in this endeavor to make a justice to this plasma science and technology. And with the tragic event that happened, somehow we postponed everything at that time, and then later we slowly returned to what would probably be already done at that time. So here it is, the new web page. We wanted to put this out, no matter that not everything is completed yet, exactly on this day, 1 year after the event. cashfoundation.org, the latest technology, and we hope that this page will always be under change, constantly adding the new knowledge and making justice to the science and technology that we all know, and to share this knowledge with the whole world. That was the wish of Fabio, and this is our wish. So some of the pages are already having the content, and each day we will be adding new content. The team is working in the background, sorting out the content on the old web page, taking out what can be used from there, and deciding about the structure that would be good for all the people to navigate through the information and find out what actually can help them to progress as fast as possible. So what you can see here on the first page, on the home page, this is how it starts. Here will always be some hot topics presented. It scrolls through them automatically, or we can stop at any of them. And then each page, like we are used to on the modern web pages, has a lot of information if you scroll down. As you can see, why choose Cash Foundation, what is our goal, the information can be expanded in this way. Then what is new is also that we have the video recordings embedded inside, where people can immediately watch the teachings from Mr. Cash and other knowledge seekers. And what we added here now on this page is what we all know it's in progress, Peace Blueprint. Blueprint for Peace for Humanity. And here we see the countdown for our goal, which we wish all together to achieve. Then we are working also on the workshops, and that should start around the world very soon. On About page, we can find this information that the visitors are many times looking for. Who is Mr. Cash? About Cash Foundation, and of course, our mission, we all know it's about peace. This is why the World Peace Treaty and Peace Roadmap are on this page. If you click on any of the pictures, for example, about Miranda Vakoli Cash, you get the timeline of events that Mr. Cash went through his work to bring this knowledge to us. We go back to Cash Foundation, information about the Cash Foundation, learn more, you can get more information about it. And you wanted to add something here at the Cash Foundation? At the bottom under, so always scroll down to the end, you will find more information. So here we are presenting Cash Foundations in all the countries. And there will be the links to the web pages explaining about the activities of those Keshe foundations. And the World Peace Treaty, so now you know where you can find it, and the visitor can download here the World Peace Treaty document, an insight into the future of man on Earth, the status of scientists, and signing of the World Peace Treaty. The 4 very important documents to understand what is it all about. And on Peace Roadmap, about the Peace Roadmap that was put together by Mr. Keshe some time ago. Those that are following since then know what I'm talking about at this point. For the visitors, this will be the information they need to understand. Here, these pages, we didn't manage to publish them until this day. We had the information prepared behind. And come back to this web page each day and you will see changes. So it's about the plasma, science and technology, and the areas that are covered by this knowledge. GANs and nanomaterials, about the nanomaterials, about the GANs. Again, you can scroll down and see more about all the areas, like the summary information, and then at each part you have also learn more and you can dig inside and actually get more information about it. In the learning process, we will be all adding to this information and the website should be updated respectively. On the education side, those that are already the students of Keshe Foundation know about the public and private teachings. For the new visitors, here will be the information that KFS education exists for them to join and explore this knowledge and to add what they can bring in. Again, you can scroll down easily, and at that point you see the primary goals and join us, and you get to the student application form. This one will be renewed in time as well. Would you like to add something? Okay. About the books. It's for you to explore the website and to, of course, tell your friends, to people around you, to where is the source of the information. We hope that this source will be getting better and better each day.
And what we did very easy for the education part, whenever people would like to join the public teachings or the private teachings, they can simply go to the section of public teachings and they have direct links to whatever channel they want to join. They also have for their languages, according to the availability of teachers, it will be announced for certain teachings, and you have as well direct links. So you just go to our page, click on the link, and you can join the teachings easily. For the public teachings, it's okay. It can be very easy to join. For the private teachings, you will have to be our student to join. And there is also a very easy way to contact us or to simply go and apply to the studies. For that, you go simply to the private teaching section and you have the option to apply. All the steps are described so that you do not need to email us back and forth for the information. You simply have the steps here. Follow the steps and you will become our student. You will benefit of the knowledge shared by our teachers in the classes, And again, in your language, it can be offered as well, as we have the teachers available for that.
So this can be the common point in the future, that you're not looking for the meeting IDs, but you go to the central web page and you actually can jump from here. The Zoom application automatically opens and you join the meeting.
Yeah, the same for the professionals, for health and for agriculture. They can very easily find the information on our website. They can apply and investigate the technology that we offer. For the manufacturing, we are working on the pages. Currently, it's ongoing. As soon as we will publish, then you will be able to see more details. And the stores, they're currently still the old stores that you're used to, but in the future, we will change them as well to new ones.
We're already working on new software that we improve also this point.
Basically, every picture and every link directs you to the web store where you find the product that is presented. So you can just click and you're directed to the ordering page.
Here are the favorite ones at the moment.
Right? Yeah. And you have the links everywhere that you can go as you need.
If you at the moment click here, you will jump to the store that you know. And here you actually can buy, and the same for the KFUSA store. You jump to that one.
And again, this will grow as our manufacturers will grow as well. So everything is up for improvement.
On your mobile phones, we are working also on that part, that the web page would be possible to view on the mobile phones like every modern web page. We will be improving this experience as much as possible, as much as technology offers. So this menu that you see here, you will see on your mobile phones where the display is smaller, and this menu is not displayed like here on the desktop. So tell to people around and use this icon to open the menu. You will see how this works on iPhones and Android phones, and then you can actually expand the menu and you can do the same as we did before on with the menu on the top. So you jump to the page that you want. Okay, I think that this would be enough for now. Here is our favorite donate button. Here in the corner you have the links to the social networking applications like Facebook. If you click on that one, you jump immediately into the Facebook page, and then trying to get back. Like usual in demonstrations, something must go wrong so that we know that the software is really working. Okay, I see already the message from our team. Probably they are still working on some parts of it. So this is it. This is where I will finish our short presentation, and we will probably in the next weeks or months present more information, or at least announce when it will be published that it's worth of going to the website and see or use the information provided. I started here and I would end this presentation here. We really miss you, Fabio. And I hope you will be happy to see this web page that we are talking about finally coming to light. Back to you, Mr. Cash.
Thank you very much, Stanley. Thank you for everything. And can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes. Yes, thank you very much for everything. It's a fantastic job, what you've done. And I should thank Ella and all the effort you just put in around the clock to get this up today. And we have spent a lot of time and a lot of effort to change the website for past 2.5 years. So now we got it, we can develop it, it's flexible. It can take, as the Keshe Foundation grows, everything which needs to be done. It is very interesting to see where we can take this into the next level. Is there anything else we need to know, or can we go into the teaching part?
I think we could go to the teaching part, yes.
Thank you very much indeed. As we've seen, and we have seen the joy of life in past few minutes, how life has changed by one father or one daughter. As I said many times, when I look at these pictures and I see how a father can hold the hand of a daughter again to teach her to walk and talk as he did some 20 years ago, I think all the pain I've been through is worth it. You got to understand, no other technology has been used with this technology. The only way this life was saved through what it is, understanding the work of the body of the man and supporting it the correct way. This is not medicine. This is change of environment. Does not matter how long the brain stays in damaged condition, we can always recover it. We can let the body to repair itself. As long as the soul of the man is within the body of the man, life, physicality can be fixed. Now that we understand this technology. It has come to light in past few days and past few weeks that the Keshe Foundation has become a cult. We haven't become a cult. You have made a cult out of us, because this way you can sideline. But in fact, everything has been sidelined. We've been told we become a cult because we show the state and the position of the soul of the man. And with it, we understand that it's the creator of the man. We've been accused of becoming a cult because people are becoming aware of their own conduct and the way they can be used by themselves to improve, elevate their own physicality and their own understanding. By making us to look like a cult, they try to carry on with the abuse of the past. It's strange enough, as a cult, we have no regulation. As a cult, we have no ritual. As a cult, we have no temple. What a strange cult, except the cult of the soul of the man. This morning when I was coming to start these teachings, I went back to something very interesting. The first man who said the earth is not the center of the universe and creation, he was killed. Now, the first man who says the center of the creation with the center of the man is discredited too. It's a very, very strange situation. Man has not changed in thousands of years. We have not grown in any shape or form. We listen to a bunch of lies and we believe them, and now we give them internet to shout more. We asked the securities to look around and see what is happening around the Keshe Foundation worldwide. There are about 4 or 5 people have taken 7 billion to ransom. Literally harassing, cajoling, threatening, lying, cheating, and everything else possible. One question is to ask, do we allow 5 thieves, which are proven to be 5 bandits, to change the world or trying to change the world? Is the brain of the man has become so feeble? Whatever you see on the internet is written by and handled by 2 people. So if the humanity can be cajoled by 4 or 5 people, that humanity better doesn't exist in the way it sees. Only for those who understand that they can elevate need to understand. We have seen they have threatened, they have lied, they've done everything possible for people to take the most beautiful knowledge which gives life back away from mankind. Many people have tested and tried many aspects of the foundation's work, and as they don't need it, they don't understand the time of the use is not when they use it, or they test it. When it comes to it, it'll show its power. The gases were sitting there, the plates of copper and zinc been there, and when a father put them together the way we advise, we have seen we got a life back. We are getting many lives back. The interesting thing is, most of you measure the work of the foundation by one thing, is power unit. Those of you who made it and used it the correct way have seen reduction. And then those of you who never understood why it didn't work, which is very few of you, you blamed it on the others, not the lack of work and understanding of yourself. We've seen a lot of pressure on the foundation. We have no pressure. Everything which is done for us by others, every pressure on us by the others has brought more fruit, more work, more development. As many of you are aware, we moved to Ghana. We were invited to work with Atomic. We set up, we were given a small space in the Atomic Commission. We made a good job of it. We employed some 20 people nearly, highly educated people. And then these people start cajoling, lying, cheating, making some 400 telephone calls to one director in one day. We were told by the press, we were aware of it. Then it came to the point that all the input into the work of the corporation was by Keshe Foundation. We were the only one, we were doing all the work, developing everything. And as the director of Atomic said, they just gave us a smaller space. We grew out of the space and we're moving out of the space. But on the other hand, it came clear that the people we were dealing with are not in control of the Atomic. We were given the land to build, and we found out the people who signed the papers have no right to sign the papers of the land. Now we have been given another piece of land, which we build the spaceship center on that piece of land. The directors of the Atomic had no right to sign any land to anyone. And in that way, this way, they could cover the whole process. They've been told we have no scientific credibility. All our products have been certified by the standard board for everything which we have submitted. Not a single item has been refused or needed to be adjusted. The foundation has certification, and now we move in another position in Africa with 6,000 manufacturing space. This time, we don't need to. As of this week, a decision has been made. No organization ever allows or tells where they go, what they do, and we go the same way. We increase our workforce to over 400 to 600 in the next 2 months in Africa. And At the same time, we developed the Space Technology Center in Africa. Keshe Foundation has become a global structure. And we carry on the same. We are proud in what we do, and all this cajoling has brought us more and more work, more joys, and in so many ways, we have become better off by moving out of Atomic. We thank the directors of the Atomic, the staff of Atomic, and we have received many communications since yesterday that why you should have not left. You're the only one who brought life into Atomic. We thank the directors of the Atomic. We thank the people who are there. And in time, we have to grow. The foundation now has become a multinational organization, and we have to move on. As they said, they had no spaces to give us. A very small place was given and no financial in any shape or form support. We are happy where what we have achieved. All our products have received a full certification by the Ghanaian government and by the authorities which they have put in position. This is good for us because in so many ways we came to understand the people who told us they have everything, they had nothing to offer us any further, and we thank them all for what they gave us. Those are rejoicing. They have to go and read and listen to the videotape of the BJB at the opening. They had all the facilities, they tested everything with the foundation, and they were out to join. The only problem came, which is the shame in so many ways in Africa, is Africans have to be let down. Africans have to be treated as second-class citizen. Africans have to be paid so low that they have always to look hand in mouth. This is what we broke, and many people in Atomic did not like. Many people in Ghana organizations with Atomic did not like. We are paying wages to our staff, which is equal to engineers with a first degree in Europe, where the normal staff are paid between 500 to 1,000 CD, which if you roughly divide it, is about €200 a month. This is shameful. We went to the limit. We pay our staff 4,000 CD, and there was a lot of resentment. How can an organization pay 5 times, 4 times the national average income for students who don't even have a job? They could not find a job. This is where the main problem with the foundation was sitting, inside the Atomic. People with 10 years experience in Ghana, engineers with the PhDs, they earn something like 2,500, if that, a month, which is roughly €500. We pay basic wage to our graduates after 3 months of training between 4,000 to 5,000 CD, which is around about 1,000, which is €12,000, which is normal for the first degree. And as they are learning more, they are taking charge. Now we're moving to the bigger premises. They earn around 20,000 a year, which this is the way it is. This is the way it should be. We are bringing dignity back to Africa. One of the main reasons, which was a huge opposition to us in Atomic, our staff were earning equal to the directors and management at the highest level, more or less equal to general director of the Ghana Atomic. Young boys in 25, 26 years old with a master's degree is unheard of in Africa to pay this kind of money. My belief is very serious. I don't pay these guys the right wage. They will take into the boats. Some of them will get drowned on the way. Some of them walk the all sorts of ways in Africa to get to Europe, to clean toilets, to get paid, maybe 100, 200 pounds a week, if they're lucky. I gave dignity back to Africa. And if this is the way they like it, it's going to get worse. You're going to employ another 400, another 600 people, only graduates. We train them and we pay them the same wages. We are proud to be in Africa, and our new partners are proud to be with us because they're of the same ethos. We don't just talk, we act, we behave, and we live by the ethos of the foundation. Now you can understand why there was so much opposition to us by those who pushed from outside, because we gave equality without the color of skin. I'm proud and I thank the directors of Atomic Commission and all those who supported us to reach a point now that we have certification, we can move anywhere in Africa. Ghana certification is equal like EU certification, C certification, or like American certification. This was, in a way, a blessing for us. We spread our work across Africa. We are investing more. We have announced a massive investment to our staff, and we will carry on developing across Africa. We pay European wages. We respect our workers according to the ethos of the Keshe Foundation. When you want to get rid of somebody, you have to make all sorts of accusations. If you read the communication, it said they have no certification for a standard board. If there was truth with it, Keshe Foundation received the certification for standard from a standard board over 4 weeks ago. They know the truth. So it was very shocking how we've been told we don't have certification. Certification issued by Ghanaian authorities after 5 months of testing all our materials and everything else. So we see a clear path, but we are very happy because this was the reason we were given the land, because where we were too small. So now we have found a place. We're moving out of the region and we train more educated people to develop more in Africa. It is shame to do what has been done to Africa. Brain drain, insult, demeaning, and then when they finish at old age, send them back home. We nourish the young, we teach them, they eat with me on the same table, they walk with me in the same offices and in the same places. I work with them, I make system with them when I'm there, and I teach them on daily basis. I take them to the most expensive hotels in Accra, and I set them and I teach them how to be correct. That when they come across others from across the world, they don't stand out as they don't know. I work my ethos. I teach my ethos. I don't allow any of my staff, any of those who work with me in Africa, when we give a conference in Africa and they sit on the table, they say, look at them. It's look at us, we're all the same. I teach them the efficacy of the European kind of standard and the world standard. Go and ask them. This is the true way to work. And in a way, we moved out of Atomic. We have taken all our shares back because they did nothing except giving us about 400 square meters of property, as he says in his writing, and we thank him for that. But now, because of this, we had time, 7 months to train 12 of the most gorgeous souls I know. Their heart is white. The dedication to the foundation is unquestionable. All masters, and soon they will run the whole of African operation of the Keshe Foundation. They've been told to be ready to go to different part of the Africa to train and teach. And strange enough, we do exactly what the European governments and companies do. They'll be paid double wages for being away, which means a 20-odd years old boy with the first 6 months of work will earn exactly as a master, PhD student, or a degree worker in Europe. This is how we have to go. This is how the foundation has to be, and this is how I have always said, anywhere Keshe Foundation's workers work, they have to be at comfort. And we do it in Ghana. This is why there was so much opposition inside Atomic to us, because we respected knowledge, we respected man. Now you know why we are. And those who say the scientific could not be proven, the government officials say Standard Board has approved, it has proven. We thank the management of Atomic Commission. We will not go behind no one's to discredit, but we explain when it's released. Foundation has certification by the government, and anyone can say anything they like to justify their way. It is good, one by one, how the abuse has set up is coming up through us. I have no problem. We wanted to be out of the atomic area because they had no space. The buildings are so badly damaged that they cannot even be repaired. That's why we went to build the center. Now,
Mr. Keshe has lost his connection, I think, Rick.
Right, okay. Well, we know the drill. Is it time for a minute of silence? Pretty much our hourly minute of silence is keying in here. Oops, I need to have my headphones on. There we go. Well, we can read a couple of the comments, perhaps. Valentin mentions, I deeply cherish that you provide more than a fair pay to your employees. And also congratulations for the new awesome web page from Valentin. And I think I can say that, Guy as well, right? Guy?
Yeah, absolutely beautiful. I think it's pure lines and very artistic. Beautiful job.
Yeah, I like the new clean, clean, bright, and sharp is the key words I think that Ella had one day. And the interface looks very clean, bright, and sharp. And that's a delight to see, I think, in the new website. And let me see. Arcadouise mentions in the chat and the live stream, respect to all people. This is the key. And Mr. Keshe was mentioning respect as one of, if not the key for his interactions with the people in Ghana that he was dealing with, employees at the factory. Bernard also likes the web page. He says it looks great. Much thanks. Any other comments from the panelists about the website or anything else that you'd like to bring up right now? Well, we have a quiet panel here tonight. Maybe it's time for that. Well, we could have our minute of silence now while we're waiting for Mr. Kesh. Maybe that would be a good idea. So I'll quit talking and we'll see if we can have a minute of silence. It'll probably make Mr. Kesh come back anyway. Okay, we'll start now.
Sorry about this. We're panicking. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, Mr. Kesh. We were doing another a minute of silence here again, and we almost made it this time.
No, it's just that it seems that every 45 minutes or so, the system drops for recharge, and we're going to have this problem until we get it sorted. In any case, what I was explaining is that it's very simple. The directors of the atomic have been using the plasma units, receiving huge reduction, up to 80% in their bills. And somebody said, how do we know? We are all masters of plasma technology. I would like every house of the management of the atomic, all the wiring to be tested for nano coating. Very simple. If the system has not been used, the system should be still copper, but we know the way the system works is nano coats all the wires right across the house, especially after a year. It's a very good test. So we carry on with our work. We develop our technology. We move extensively across Africa with our new partners. The Keshe Foundation Global Organization has taken a new shape. We will come, the way you see in our website, will come very professionally. We have brought one of the best organizations who can do it within the Keshe Foundation. And we don't need to prove anything because we have support from other organizations that they will take the technology across. The commercialization of technology as of 1st of July has moved in the hand of the international management team. We are just figures as a shareholders in this organization. In respect to our teaching, we carry on the same pattern, the same way. We push for world peace because it's the responsibility of us to create peace. Those of you who think we are doing the wrong thing, it means you have the wrong ethos to us. We gave energy, power units in exchange for peace. We gave technology and the patterns for peace in exchange. Now we have thought and educated everyone that they can go to the next step. If you are happy to be in the state of what you have, limited transportation, limited the speed of travel, taking you some 24 hours to travel from one point to another, where now with the new technology can do it maybe in 24 minutes, where you have to develop the technology further. We've seen how the father has developed the technology to save his daughter. Many of you are using technology for the health application. Many of you. Even I've seen a video from the people in Red Indian camps using the Maghreb system to generate power and run their system. If a man from Red Indian tribe of what we call United States can create this energy in his tent, so it means those scientists in the West have not received or have not reached the intelligence of that man yet. It's very simple. The video is on the internet. He has made 3 rotating Maghreb system and is feeding his recorder and everything else he needs in his tent. So those who blame us, you have to give us that they go to the next level. What can I give you? You haven't understood. A man in a TB has understood and uses it. The video, if anybody has, can you send it through to be seen? So it means those with a PhD and different governmental organizations are so far behind understanding the truth, which is so simple. I'm sure somebody has that video. Can you please post it that we all can see? It's on the Facebook, it's on the YouTube somewhere. Now they tell me you have to give us something that we can carry on. A farmer has understood. The professor has not to understand, because then it shows how stupid he's been. So who do we blame? The teacher or the arrogance of the man? Many people are using this technology. We have seen those in Germany and Austria reporting massive saving on the systems which they put in last year, and now they're receiving their electricity bill. 35, 34%, up to 60% reduction in bill. Where are the Germans who jumped up and down? Where are those who made this at home and they don't talk? All of you use the gas for your pain and you don't come and talk, because why? I remember one person saying everything from the Keshe Foundation has to be free. Otherwise there is something wrong with the foundation. Give us the new plasma power units, then otherwise there is something wrong with you. We have the power generator. I understood it. It's been in front of you for 3 years. So it means I'm the man in the little tent. I can do what I like. I understand the technology. I'm waiting for those who are looking for the handout to find the hand to give it out to them. The technology is so simple. Its simplicity has brought ignorance. In a way, not the ignorance, but I pretend to tell and ignore it, because then it shows how stupid I've been for thousands of years, not seeing what's right in front of me. As I said, a lot of families are in trouble with the Keshe Foundation because they're looking for miracles, and the miracle doesn't come if you don't need to use it. The beauty of this technology is for the use, to be used at the time of need. The ethos of the Keshe Foundation says not to take what you don't need, and take as much as you need at the time you need. We've seen the knowledge with the man. He needs the knowledge. He's been around the Keshe Foundation for years. He never had to make anything. He tested many, and when the time came, he used it to save his daughter. The man in a tent does the same. So does others in other countries. So those who come to us and they say there is something wrong with us, we have to be put in prison. They are in the prison of their own brain, and we live that life. If you understood and you are open enough to understand more, and it doesn't go because now, as I said before, you think the internet is against us, you wait, now the churches and the priests find out they have no job. People will be called, hunt out the Keshe Foundation supporters, because now we have found the soul, the operation of it. We can work with it to create whatever we want. No one can be fooled. The job is over. You know, when in Europe they close a factory, what do the workers do? They go out, protest, shout, cajole, stand out, burn wood, damage everything. But one thing they forget is that we don't use any more donkeys. We have gone into the cars. They're still making cars for donkeys. So they're fighting for what is not this time anymore. The same shall be where and as we advance. This is nothing what we've seen before comedians of the internet, I call them. The best thing they did for us, they returned the 25% of the Keshe Foundation shares with Atomic, that we could bring multinational organizations with millions of backing in. That's all we did. We exchanged shares. Thank you very much. Because we would have stayed in Atomic, we still had to do a lot of work for the others just to have a free benefit. You do not know how you benefit us beyond imagination. Now, I had to wait for a minister to approve a land for me. I have a businessman who has given the whole land in another position in Africa to do. You'll find out one thing from now on. We don't release any more information about our progress, about our manufacturing, and anything else. Nobody else does. What should we do? We were straightforward. We shared knowledge that the others joined, that we can expand to help the others. When we get 4 terrorists on the internet, then 7 billion have to pay for it. You lot go on the Keshe Foundation, go on the Keshe victims, and see why your emails and your Facebook names is on it as victim. If you see it and you don't make a complaint to Facebook, it means you deserve it to be a victim. You're a victim of yourself. This is what they have done. They write about those who work around the foundation, and then they put them as a victim. This is how Mr. Lauritsen has worked for years. Deception, theft of knowledge, and then killing scientists. We are growing beyond imagination, but this time we do it in a very different way. Those of who listen, especially in China, about the rumors coming out of these things, they are using your innocence of not knowing how European thieves work, and you glorify it. We were happy and we are out of Atomic. They had to show it this way because we would have sued Atomic for signing, giving a land which they had no land to do. They jumped before we jumped. We invested to it, but luckily enough, an European organization who has 167 hectares of land has handed over the deed to the foundation in Africa. They understood, and we have all the documents. We can start our work in a much bigger space, much bigger land, and do a much better job. Going back to the teaching. Many of you who have been around the foundation have worked with us in trying to make nanomaterial, in trying to make ganses, different way of applying the ganses, different way of using the ganses, you always were expecting to get something for what you've done. But you have to understand, this is the game of plasma. This is the game of work of the universe. This is the game of working with the truth and the reality of the fields of the energy of the universe, and not with hammer, nails, screws, and old-fashioned engines. Man had the time to progress. If you look, for millions of years, for thousands of years, we had piece of fire. If you could make it, we boiled some water or we melted the metal, and our knowledge was to that limitation. In the past 1,500 years, due to different inspiration and revelation by the new prophets of God, by releasing a new soul into humanity, a new fresh breath of life, man came to get more deeply understanding more about the world of creation. We learned how to use flow of magnetic fields, we call them electric current. We came to learn about the structure of the materials, we call them atomic and nuclear. We came to understand to harvest the energy transfer from one point to another. If man thinks and thought that nuclear technology was the end of all, in fact, new nuclear technology was the beginning of new cycle. The new nuclear technology, as has become fashionable to be known as plasma, looks at the motion conversion of the inner structure of the atomic or molecular entities. Places like CERN, what do? They take one proton and they speed it up. And they try to collide it. Stand still. Is it just because CERN and it's called a proton is something magic? Or has the magic has gone out of it? You call it GANs and you mix it, you use its energy. Billions to do it. The reason our work has become so much critical and so many critics move around the foundation is that a woman in the kitchen, a farmer in Australia, a Red Indian in America, all have learned how to harvest the energy of a plasma. And this is the beauty of it. This is why those who pretend to understand, they try to discredit. I always said, and if you listen to me many times, you hear it more times. When we sat with the other partners of the Keshe Foundation, as of course at that time, there were no existence of Mr. Laurescence at that time. We sat with directors of angel investment, which then it turned up to be the masters of Mr. Laurescence. They're telling me that, Mr. Keshe, you are writing and you're teaching your technology in a very simple language. Such a technology should be so complicated that it has to be in the world of science. I said to him, sir, I write and teach in a language that a white man across the table cannot abuse a village man in the back of Africa. And now you see how we take knowledge to Africa, and an African man is doing it and using it and building factories around it, and a white man has a still problem with it. That's all it is. Many supporters of the Keshe Foundation are getting pressurized by their family. You see, you went to learn a science, you went to do something, and now you've done nothing. But the only question is asked, all the tests you've done, was there a point you needed to use it? Or if you need to use it, do you know how to use it? That it does what it's supposed to do. If you want to use the health technology of this knowledge, so you become sick every day, get yourself cancer and get the system to check you out and sort you out. So you are forever happy the technology works. Every day, hit yourself with a hammer on the head, get a headache, and then use the gas and see, no, it works. The knowledge is given to be used at the point of need. Those who blame and make ridicule are those who haven't come to be able to need to use it because it's not time. When it comes, the only solution will be the technology. Those of you who are looking for power generators, it's been in front of you for 4 years. I'm not teaching it. Why should I? Because when I teach it, you become your next abuser. Is something wrong with him? He doesn't take us to the moon. Is something wrong with him that takes us to the Mars? Because now you had your free energy. You're a bunch of people who would like to have it to see where you can go and abuse next. The abuse of the knowledge of the foundation will never end. You're a bunch of unruly children. You have got used to abuse, and it's fault of somebody else when it doesn't let you abuse it. Any of you who've been sitting in front of me for past 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, you're blind. The generator is sitting right in front of you. Not only a generator sitting in front of you for your own use, the generator is a 30, 40 kilowatt generator. How come I can't do it? Maybe I'm a nuclear physicist and I'm well educated in the knowledge of plasma. And maybe it's time for all of you to accept you know nothing. And because you know nothing, you have to blame the others. You have two choices. Listen and learn, because I've said many times how it's been done, or pack it up and leave the work of the foundation. When you get a cancer, say, oh, there was a technology I needed. Go in the kitchen and make your plates and try to get rid of your cancer. This technology has to be what we used to. We used to go and play golf. We used to go and do something and spend time. Now every man has to explore every possibility of every use of it, that when it comes for others who need it or himself, he knows what to do. That's how simple it is. I hear many families talking about, you're wasting your time doing this and you're doing that and you're joining a cult. I love to know what's the name of these cults I've built. I have no churches. I have no temples. I don't pray to nothing, and I don't tell you pay nothing. I give it to you freely, and I don't give any instructions. You can have 20 wives and you have to pray and bang your head against the wall 20 times a day and can't put a gas on your head and say hallelujah 15 times a day. Go and make your cults. We stay a scientific, universal teaching group. Not in my time, not in my place, not in my teaching time. And I'm not Moses to show magic, or Jesus to raise the dead. I have already risen 7 billion dead to life, more than Moses or Jesus did in one point. You are all ignorant and dead in the science of the universe. I have woken you up. I passed you the message of the universe. Your souls have been touched. It's your problem that you want to transfer it in physicality. Very simple. When you don't understand, blame the others. I have touched every single soul on this planet with the knowledge of this person. In time, they use it, they understand it. Those of you who are not happy because it hasn't brought you the Rolls Royces which you thought, it will never do. Because everybody knows what to make. And everybody will do when they need it. We were talking with Ahmed, with a couple with a child around 2-3 years old. 4 weeks, they have seen changes in the work of the child, in the life of the child. I have changed the life of the child for good. They don't need to have a handicapped child. They don't have a mentally retired child. They have a beautiful child and they won't even remember it. They are doing it themselves. So is a family in Africa. So is the family in Bari saving their daughter's life. So many of you. So now, you want to be a nuclear physicist, you need a degree from a university. You want to be a plasma physicist in the plasma of the work, unfortunately, we have no degrees. We just teach you, you can write your own degrees on a piece of paper and graduate from the School of Universe. There are no universities in the world, and there are no universities anywhere across this universe. It's a man-made illusion of level of knowledge where everyone has the same level to understand the totality of their own creation. So, if we have a cult, if we have become a cult, please give it a name, except Keshe, because my work will never be cult. It's a name of science. It's the understanding of the creation of yourself. With it, I have chosen to use it in a very good way. My knowledge for peace. But you don't understand it, I can teach you how to use the essence of your creation to create peace for yourself, and with it will come for the others. So, if you want to give me a name of a cult, you choose it, and that's your name for you. We call it science, science of universe. We don't preach, we don't teach, we inspire. It's for you to decide how you do it. I've seen many people making so many ganses and so many reactors and so many cores and God knows what, and they say they have nothing to show for it. What do you want to do with it? What is the purpose of doing it? Is it a magic show or is it a clown show? You go out, you want to do something with it, go on the street and find somebody who's sick. Somebody who's got a broken hip like our dearest girl. Somebody who cannot walk and is in pain. And say, come, I have a technology for you. I make you your water and you walk. Then you find a purpose for yourself. You don't do that, do you? Does any of you done that? No. And if any of you done, you get accused of everything because the others can't abuse you, because then you have to go to the medical use and everything else. We are following that path, but we are teaching the path of the universal teaching, which is free, unconditional. So those of you who are here were happy that such a thing was published by Ghana Atomic Commission and he went everywhere. He says we don't have any certificate. We have 6 certificates. Says every product we put has been certified. We are not needed to put it. Does anybody else comes and put their certificates on it? What should we? To give you more instruments, we are getting more certificates from other countries. And if you don't know it, Italian government is issuing certificates for the waters to be decontaminated. And by the way, if you're busy with it with Italian, we don't tell you where, because they just paid 20,000 euro for 1 unit, and unfortunately, it's getting shipped to them from the most places that we had no qualification and no rights. Ghana Atomic Energy Commission, Keshe Foundation. Africa has to start exporting the latest technology into Europe. I have turned the tables, and the foundation has been paid for it, and the Italians are proud to receive it. This is what the beauty of this technology is. Italians have a problem with the massive contamination and antibiotic to their animals. I am based in Ghana. Even though I have a cash foundation in Italy, manufacturing in Italy, the knowledge could be developed in Ghana, and now the goods are shipped to Italy. Since when Africans have shipped edge of science and technology back to Europe? From now on. If you want, we show you the bank account payment. And all the benefit has gone to the Ghanaian manufacturer. This is the beauty of it. The Europeans need it, the Africans have the technology, edge of science, absolutely edge of science. And it's taken 4 months to build, and is on its way. And the beauty of it is, the Italian authorities have allowed us to become part of the group who can sort these things out. Our director has been appointed to be on the board of these systems for Italian government use, for the Italian nation. It weighs less than 200 kilo, and it can stop every animal from getting sick. Made in Ghana, manufactured in Ghana, delivered from Ghana. Recipient, Italian nation. We are both proud, both the Italian and both the Ghanaian. When my staff were putting it together, I could see the joy in their eyes. We are helping the Europeans. We are equal. This is the beauty of it. But the interesting part of it is, when you see it, you see how simple work can change even the life of animal in the society. You can see it. "20 of these bottles
Hello, Mr. Kish.
Okay. Yes,
Hello.
I'm here. Did you see my share of the picture?
No, it started sharing and then you cut out. Could you try that again, please?
Yes, you can see a simple African system for the help of Italians and Europeans. Made in Ghana for European, our brothers, equal scientific sharing partners. Oh, where is it? My staff are, this is after disassembling to be packed to be sent out to Europe. Can you see it?
Yes, yeah. We see a framework with a
The
kind
blue
of
pack.
a blue pack, yeah.
Yeah, 20 of these blue packs go through a system, and as the water goes through it, does exactly what the European been looking for, saving them around about 50,000 a year, and plus a lot of other contaminations which goes after it, which cost more to clean up. This is the beauty of the new knowledge, paid by Europeans and waiting to export over 15,000 of these in coming days. Can you hear me?
Yes, Mr. Kish.
Okay. Now you can see the development of the technology. Now you start seeing massive export from Africa into Europe on the edge of technology. Those of you who will have been puzzling what the new African system is that Ghana Atomic could not stand because it puts them out of job, as the Standard Board officer said, the directors understood very fully. In fact, this is more powerful than any other energy unit ever been put out. And it's very interesting. Let me show you how to get the picture. In the next couple of weeks, once our new partners decide the promotion and packaging of it, this is, if I can get it in my pictures, the new plasma unit, saving up to 80%, certified, tested, confirmed by Ghanaian. You're all trying to get your hands on it, and you think this is your right to have it. This time, if the Ghanaian and our partners decide, we share it. There you are. This will stop other screen sharing. Do you want to continue?
Yes. Just answer yes.
Okay. We might get fallout. Okay. There we are. Certified by became sold right across Africa. 80% saving. For Africa only, we cannot produce enough to feed the European market. And I'm not going to show you the certification because a bunch of idiots will do a lot of hard work in the back to cause problem for the foundation. Plug in and use. And I can show you something else. Thanks to our team, thanks to a lot of hard work, this is how it is promoted in Africa. Let me find you the brochure. The technology is solid. I don't have the brochure because it's sitting in another place, but I'll copy it and let you have a look at the brochure. It's beautifully done. Ella, do you have the brochure you could display for us, please? I cannot do it from here.
Yes, she's already looking for it.
Okay, can you show?
Yep.
Yeah. Can you? I stop sharing. Can you share, please?
I will when I get the file from her computer.
Okay. This is the promotion brochure, which is going to be updated by our new sales management team and the distribution team for Africa. This unit with another unit like this becomes a 40 kilowatt generator solid state. Have you found it yet?
Yes, one more minute.
Can you share it? Is plug and use. It's been made that, as we say, Africans cannot read. Pictures explain exactly what they have to do. Can we see the both sides of the brochure, please? Or start one and go to the back, please. Can you share?
It's quite a big file, yeah. This is why I'm not getting
just
it.
One picture.
Aha, okay, just a moment.
Just the brochure pictures, don't show anything else.
No. This is why I'm trying to do it. Okay. I need to move it over here.
You got it?
Yeah, just did that.
You can buy this anywhere in Ghana today. Can you open it?
I
As
think
you see, right on top of the box, under the blue circle on the left-hand side, that's a standard certification, and it's got a number in it. Now you see how much lie was told by the director. The technology is nothing wrong with it. There it is. It's called Plasma Energy Unit, designed for you by Keshe Foundation Ghana. 1, 2, 3 step. We valued it at 2,500 Ghana CD, which is about 500. For the first runs of 10 to 20,000, we are putting it out as 1,000 CD, which is just about 200 euro. And you see, it gives you everything. The telephone number, the sale, and the brochure how to use in the back. And all the directors of Atomic Ghana have been using it for a long time. We carry our certificate on it. Now the truth hurts for those who run with it and they thought that. Hello, we are back again. So this is what the technology is about. These units will be sold in Europe at 1,000 euro. We do exactly what they do. In America, they sell a product for $1,000. In Europe, for 1,000 euro. We keep the figure, we just change the abbreviation in the front. We will not export out of Ghana, and we need enough to produce to see the demand of the nation to reduce the power demand. He says, imagine paying 40% less on your electricity bill. Now it is possible. We don't claim the whole 80. We let the people have the joy of it. And the telephone number at the bottom comes directly in our position. The Keshe Foundation team will receive it. We answer if we want to. Simplicity of technology is good enough for Africa. The rest in Belgium and the rest are shouting their head off, promoting deception, lie and cheat as it is in their nature. Keshe Foundation is solid in its work, but Keshe Foundation has one big problem, has a huge ethos, equality of man and peace through technology. You were waiting for mango boxes and banana or pineapple boxes out of Ghana. Now boxes of energy and use in farming will come out. One thing was said by the Chinese, the development of technology will put Europeans and makes them the third world nation compared to Africa. The game has started. We thought enough in Europe for 3 years. You did nothing but ridiculing and cajoling and listening to a bunch of thieves, and you believe them. I think it's time for you to wait till we do. We will not release this technology, it's so simple. And the 400 kilowatt, the 40 kilowatt version solid state will be offered to African nations in a different proposition. Wake up call for humanity. A 1,000 Ghana CD. Every product today is sold. At the moment, we cannot produce enough. We have to move to be able to produce more. In the next couple of weeks, you will see the water from the same factory. All will carry the standard certification and the number. It's a criminal offense to put something you don't have. Mr. Lorescence is used to it. Stealing is their habit. You got to understand something very simple. The energy from this box, in essence, if you understand it, is the energy within the soul of the man. There is no difference. The way it's structured replicates the structure of the human body, the operation of the human body. I had a dilemma to launch this or to launch the coils 2 years ago when we did the MAGRAF system. But I thought we have to go that way to enlighten and bring a new way of thinking. This unit used correctly and then adjusted slightly will become a massive power supply. Massive power supply is the essence of energy of the sun. There are those who tell me, show me magic, show something that we can confirm to this and that it is real. This box is real. Ghanaians are saving energy with it, and the Belgians are hitting their head on it. They get an empty box, African get a using box. Mr. Lorescence, you got checkmated again. Publish more, we release more. You and your team made many calls to Africa, but you did us a lot of favor. When you read that letter from Ghana Atomic, open the certification of a standard board. He says they have no standard. We have proven to be correct. Even our waters are purer than the African authorities are thinking not to importing any more water for medical use from Europe because they have a purer water. Thank you very much. You got to remember, you got to understand. Use your intelligence. Don't just be taken by what is written. Our friends in China, these units very soon will be available in China. In a matter of weeks, maybe sooner, we will launch these across China. All of you who manufacture, you produce, you're working around the Keshe Foundation, we will talk to you very soon. A number of technologies which will release to the Chinese community only. Will get every system passed by the Chinese authorities that can be used. A lot of you have put a lot of work in China around the Keshe Foundation over past time. Now it's time for you to see the fruit of your work. We release this unit, and if the Keshe Foundation China comes to an agreement with the Chinese government, we release the power units immediately, as a matter of even today. Technology does not need to be developed, it's fully developed. I think the Europeans and the Americans wasted enough time trying to think they are superior. The superiority will come out of China and Africa. We will support all the Chinese Keshe Foundations in the coming weeks through the organizations which are working with us to bring you all together, that you become, each one of you, to be able to deliver, to find a position for what you have developed and join everything together. We thank all the Chinese supporters, all the Chinese laboratories, and all of you who, one way or another, created a small factories selling a small part or trying to bring the Keshe Foundation products for yourselves. We give you a bigger platform. We'll announce this very soon. Keshe Foundation China will become one of the biggest Keshe Foundations. They receive full support through Ghana organization. Ghana stays the capital of the Keshe Foundation worldwide operation. Our Chinese friend, do not get fooled by the writings of the Europeans. They fooled you, they got Hong Kong out of your hand for 99 years. And you celebrated its freedom last weekend for 20 years. Do not fall for all which comes. There is huge support and work being done in China. We will support it in a different way in a coming time. Our people from Ghana will support Chinese manufacturers in different ways. We share knowledge and technology, and the power unit of the 40 kilowatts will be launched in China in the coming time. We've shown you the power unit, the plasma power unit. We'll send the plasma generator off-grid, not for one house, but for a number of houses with one plug-in to China to be produced there. We brought the magravs in Europe. You did nothing but ridicule it and steal it and everything else. We gave the plasma technology to Africa, and now we see we don't even have time to manufacture what we can manufacture. We give the power generation to China, and we'll see how it will change. The price of oil will plummet. Chinese can afford it. As I said, we have to be equal in our work. We worked for 2 years in Europe. We saw nothing but harassment. We saw nothing but being killed, and one of my dearest boys, assistant, was murdered by Mr. Good Doers. Now we start balancing the book. The next organization, the Keshe Foundation, will be in South America. We will support South America in a different way. Arman has been working very hard to get things in hand. He is and he's become the head of the Keshe Foundation manufacturing worldwide. He knows it, he's done it, he's been to Peru with his wife to set it up. Now they're going to manufacturing. Units will be tested in next few days. They should be in the post today in Europe, in Asia. And then they'll be manufactured in mass production in China and in Asia. I'm bringing a balance to my work. And now you all understand. The Europeans will pay €1,000 for the same box. The generators which we have put out and people have paid for will be delivered from China. But we make sure nobody can open them or touch them. That no cheaters can cheat. Today we released and explained a lot of things because it had to be done. And it was to celebrate the joy Fabio brought to our life. A year before, he was a young boy who translated my first book into Italian. And he could not even say what it was, but he said, I translated it. And now I give this as a gift to him. We'll produce the gas plasma power generators in China, a 40 kilowatt solid state. And this is a gift to the Chinese.
Are you still there, Mr. Kesh?
Sorry about else. Go back on the Keshe Foundation YouTube and find the speech of Mr. BJB in the opening of the conference last October. He says, we have tried, I even tried a pen on myself, and it works. We have tested it and it's correct. The only difference which became not correct is that we did not pay a bribe. And secondly, we were given the land which they have no possession of. And thirdly, you guess. Read the letter. It says they could not supply certification. Certification is issued. I can even give you the date of certification. 1 second, please. I have to find it for you on another screen. Sorry about this. But to prove some people have got a long way to cover a lot of problems is a long way behind.
Mr. Check, please check your private message sent you 2 screenshots with the numbers.
The date of certification of the plasma unit, we give you roughly, because we don't want you to cause yourself problem calling everywhere. We don't give you that pleasure anymore. Is certified, actually certification, I'll just read it.
Bear with us as we reconnect with Mr. Kesh here. Temporary dropout of our technology.
Hello, we are back. Sorry about that. We should ask our friend to send us some updating and some better reception systems in Africa that we can share the knowledge at least better. This is a problem. If you remember the first time we had Benjamin on, we had a communication problem. And it hasn't changed much. So maybe we send some plasma units for some communication companies to give us a better internet facilities. Any questions? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, Mr. Kesh.
Are there any questions?
I'm just searching there. People are not putting a lot of questions out. Trevor is in the live stream is concerned that things aren't moving fast enough, and
what you were for 1,000 million years on the back of a donkey. Not 4 years is not fast enough. It took you 200 years to develop an engine that you could put in the car and call it a Ferrari, and it's not fast enough in 3 years. Listen, if I go any faster, you fall off, you won't even know the knowledge was there. At least I'm trying to slow it down. Even they tell me now we can't understand it. They can't understand. You use a toilet opener, you heat it up, it goes black, you use a salt, you separate it and become a new energy. People have a lot of problem with understanding what the GANS is. Going, what, million years, 10,000 years from creating fire in the caves, now you can create fire of love in your heart with a water is not fast enough in 3 years.
Well, his concern actually was
You know,
more.
speak to the Chinese. I'm sure Chinese need more than the others at the moment. If you want a background plasma unit, you got to wait. It's a waiting list. Ghanaian citizen, then Togo citizen, then Kenyan citizen. Africa will be furnished first. I haven't seen anyone writing, thank you, Mr. Kesh, for saving my telephone electricity bill. I'm putting something down. I give 1, 2, or 10 free to the others. We didn't tell you, come and pay Cash Foundation. We gave it free to you, said give another one free, one to somebody else. And it's not fast enough. What else you want me to do? When I go too fast, I become a criminal. When I go too fast, even the atomic nuclear people don't understand it and become non-understandable. But the electrical people understand that people can do it. How fast, how slow do you want me to go? You tell me. We have a program like we are doing for a piece every day. 1 word a day. Caustic. Then we have a program tomorrow. Water. Is that slow enough?
Well, half the people will curse you for going too slow, and the other half will curse you for going too fast.
What's the next question?
Well, Trevor goes on to say that my issue is not with Mr. Keshore's technology. I would not be here if I did. My frustration is with mankind. I do not think the message is getting through, unless there's more going on that I know.
The message is getting through very well. For those who need it, I've said that many times, I said it even today. People use this technology according to their intelligence, and they're becoming very correct. When they need it, they use it. This is how it should be. When they need to develop a system to save their child's life, when they need a system to create electricity in a tent, they do it. That's how simple it is. The stockpiling is finished. It's so simple that you can do it. You don't need to keep tons of Gansin. My father, for past 5 months, 6 months, has been in a wheelchair with oxygen bottle being taken on a wheelchair everywhere. And the damage is wrong with high pressure oxygen, the nurse not understanding. Active 87-year-old man has become wheelchair ridden because of whatever reason. It's taken me less than 7 days to make him walking. Love of son for his father. Hardly touches the oxygen bottle. He walks, he started walking. There was no use for me sending it before because he wasn't ready to accept it. Now the doctors told him there is no other solution, you're gonna die. He thought, I'll try this one at least. And he helped him. He doesn't walk, he doesn't sleep more than a meter away from the breathing system. And it's just the water. This is the beauty of this. This is what we see. We need it, we use it. But the person who uses it has to be there to accept it.
Mr. Cash, in that sense, Wolfgang has a question. One of the biggest problems to understand the plasma technology is the conditioning by the school, etc. Is there a fast way to remove this conditioning?
No, it's an openness to accept new technology. Conditioning is the way the teachers control things. Nobody stops your child when he comes home, says, sit down and learn how you can do this. See what you can make a toy out of a gas or the water liquid of it. Make something. If you're in the wood and something happens and you cut yourself or something happens, you can heal yourself, you can help yourself. What do I need, Papa? Find yourself a piece of metal. If it's you have your computer or piece of wire which you're carrying with you, make a fire, put it in there. You can't find a salt, you know exactly where salt comes from. Put it in there, you find yourself a solution, you find yourself a cure. We used to teach each other which herb is for what. Now we teach what plasma is for what. That's so simple. I have a very depressed man in front of me and I want to see the smile on his face. This is not to be. We need it, we use it. Would it be very soon one of these survival kits we carry with the plasters and something in it? There'll be 2 pieces of wire, some salt and some caustic, and you can get water anywhere and you make your caustic. Maybe we have to make these first aid kits. Then everybody has it. Plasma technology has a use. You will see what we do in Africa. It's very nice, the reporter has written, so it means they're really watching what we are doing. They said that they do this and that, so they're listening. Africans be proud of what they are doing. And I'm proud we're treating them equal like graduates from Europe. They don't tell you the rest. It's simplicity which is causing the problem. Do you know why? Because nobody thought it's so simple and nobody wants to accept. A million years man has been running around, having the thing in his pocket and not knowing it's there. I've used your own, what I call short-sightedness. It's not stupidity, your own short-sightedness. And I've been dangling this power generator under your nose. If I release it here in Africa, I'll be dead. Because a lot of African head of nuclear and energy system are getting a lot of bribes, opening bank accounts in Dubai and other Emirates for the power stations which shall never be sold, never be built. But this system directly plug in, save your nation 80% and yourself in your pocket. The simplicity of it is beautiful. Whenever you see nations sign a contract for a power station, look at it, it says 100 million. 15% is bribe, minimum. It means the nation, the citizen have to pay for 30 years, 15 million for the bribes their signatories have taken. In fact, if you look at it, the whole profit of the system is in the bribe which is paid on the commissions to the leaders to sign for their nation to be benefited by. And the 15 million with the interest ends up around about 50 million. The 1 out of 5 changes to 50 by the time nation, if nation can pay it, and at the end of the year, what it comes, they paid so much they couldn't pay. We are generous, we let you off. We gave you a 50 million reactor system, which you already paid 250 million for it. It's good enough. Now we let you go. We are generous. We write off your debts. The technology is very simple. When you need it, use it. The whole thing we've done from the beginning is teaching you what you need. It's very much, I put you through a cookery class. I have taught you, no thank you, how to bake a cake. I have showed you how to make a soup. I have showed you how to make bread. Do you want to eat soup and bread every day? Or when you feel like it, when you need it? That's all I've done. You know the recipes, you know what it needs to be done when you need it. That's all it is. Those who don't understand, we manufacture. We call ourselves Keshe Foundation manufacturers. And the worst thing is, in our agreement with our colleagues and our partners, I can read it to you. It says, my share of the Keshe Foundation, which is the Keshe Foundation, goes to the community and the society, and not for me. You can do what you like with your profits. It's a part of my agreement with the new partners. The beauty of it is, I don't have to be involved in manufacturing anymore because they're taking over. In the next few weeks, months, they do. They won't even come and tell you what it is. The only thing you see, massive amount of products hitting the markets around the world. We operate in 83 nations. They decide from now on. As I said, I start the process of teaching a piece, and Foundation holds on its share to be used for peaceful application. You will see massive number of products in the next 12 months. You see a lot of effort in peace movement. We try to put all our effort to teach and promote peace. We are not a cult because I have not managed yet to know how many wives I would like to have to make a religion out of it. 4 legal and 40 part-time. You can be a priest, but be adulterous to other men's wife, call yourself Catholic, or be a rabbi and do whatever you like, nobody knows. When I decide how I'm going to cheat myself to my soul, I'll come and tell you, and then we make a cult and religion out of it. I haven't decided on the temple yet. Actually, I have, but you lot don't know. I call it the temple of the soul of the man. I've moved in every single body of yours because it brings pleasure, it brings peace, and brings prosperity for humanity and the space. My temple is in your soul. Now try to find it. Every time you worship me, you worship your own souls. Every time you bless me, you bless your own souls. Now let's start a new cult. I love myself because by loving myself, I love the others more. A new cult. I don't know how many wives we're going to have yet. We're going to decide on that one. And we know we have to put the restriction on women because we never, in any religion, never been told how many husbands they can have because they saw that one as well. When I saw that one, I make a cult. You're all welcome. I teach science. I teach the truth about the science of the universe. My cult is peace. My work is peaceful. If I tell you something, then they can hear. I better keep quiet. I have one of the most beautiful souls with me sitting right across me, and he just plays and he keeps on telling me, shh, showing me all signs. You all know him. Armand is here with us. Any other question? Or shall we call it a day? We talked too long.
I've never seen people so quiet.
Hello?
Yes, it's quiet.
Hello?
Can
It's
you hear
quiet.
me?
No,
Yes.
Yes, no questions on the wall?
Well, okay, here's one from Valerie in the chat. I have a question. I live on an island where there is a lot of starvation, and I would like to help them in one way or another. So I am wondering.
Which island?
Valerie, if you could state which island it is, that would be good.
I hope it's not England. There's a lot of hungry people there.
Tenerife?
Tenerife. Ah, Tenerife is the Spanish island, parallel with Spain, parallel with Africa. Okay. Tenerife, Lanzarote, Great Canary, and what's the last one? There's 4 of them. Tenerife, Lanzarote, and okay. I didn't think an European nation has hunger.
So, okay, he's wondering.
This is a European nation. This is Tenerife. How could be so much hunger? It cannot be. We got a common market. There should be no one hungry, no poverty in Europe. It's a rich place. They robbed the whole nations of the world selling arms to them. How come they got hungry people? It's a Spanish state. It's 4 islands. What's the 4th one? Island. You got Lanzarote, Tenerife, Gran Canary, and there's another one. The Windy Island. I've been on them. Can't remember, getting old and forgetful. This is impossible. We know there is a hunger and poverty in European nations. We know some 20 to 30% of children in Europe go to sleep hungry every night.
It looks like it's Fuerteventura.
Fuerteventura.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the 4th island, the Windy Island. It's a very windy, that island. It's beautiful. She lives in Fuerteventura or Tenerife? Tenerife has highest rate of tourists in Europe.
La Gomera. La Gomera. Gomera?
There's so much poverty in such a rich European nation. I put at it. There is no hunger in Europe and everybody is well fed. And nobody is, what do you call it, pedophile. Mr. Lorenz, can you write an article for us about Tenerife? There is no hunger there. It's all lies by Cash Foundation. It's a European community.
So they are wondering if I want to give them, these people that are starving in a land of plenty, if I want to give them plasmatic food to feed the homeless, would hemoglobin plus CH3 liquid plasma plus deuterium/tritium.
My God, what are you trying to do? Give them from your soul, you'll find them walking. You want to be physical, you can do it different way. Our Chinese, is Charles, our Chinese friend in the background, available, who teaches how to drink water that becomes energy and food? He hasn't eaten anything more or less since December. Lisa or Rudy, if you're in the background, is Charles around that he can teach? Because he taught it couple of weeks ago in one of the private teachings. I tell you what we do. Stanley, Flint, do we have that private teaching? Can you open it where the Chinese teach how to feed yourself? Flint? Anybody home?
I'm here. I think. Let me see. Let's see if
Charles was with us. Charles was with us in Ghana 4 or 5 weeks ago, and I know Jim McDonald asked him to do. It was an odd time teaching. It was a normal teaching time about feeding with water, how you can feed yourself.
That was Monday.
Was that
Monday afternoon session, right?
can I ask for the first time to open that teaching, the section about the water, to public, and let it go this afternoon? If you have the facilities, we can do it. No other part of it, just that part. It's done by the Chinese Keshe Foundation people. A number of Chinese in China are using this way to feed themselves, not to eat. And it can be used. You can set like a mother source, and you can feed. They don't feel hungry. Initially, from what I understand from Charles, you lose some weight, but these people, if they're hungry, they already lost all the weight. So it gives them nourishment. Our Chinese colleagues in the background is Charles with you because he does most of the simultaneous translation. Lisa, can you see him, or Rudy? Do you see any of the Chinese guys in the background?
Yes, I see Ryun Zhu.
there's a number of Chinese as well.
But they raised the hand. No,
Charles usually translates live. He missed last week, I think. Okay, we give you this as a
hello.
Please, I don't session. If you are a Keshe Foundation followers, tomorrow afternoon session, which is part of the Peace and Plasma, we will release this section of the teaching which the Chinese have developed. I told you I like the way the Chinese work. They do very well with it. And he is not the one who sat under the thing and he waited to become, and it all was fake. This is a very direct. He's done it since, I think, 4th or 6th of December of last year. And in that teaching, he explains how he does it. He's a fluent English speaker, and it should be very easy for everybody to understand. Is that possible to do, Vince? Or can we isolate that part?
That is 19th of June, afternoon session, private teaching. We need to take this.
Is James, Jim, the head of teaching with us anywhere?
Let's see.
Do you see him? He's not on the front panel. I don't think he doesn't mind if we do that. He does a lot of beautiful work for the teaching. We released this part. What was the name of the lady, Rick, who asked the question?
The name is Valerie Zikrat.
Dear Valerie, please ask, or those of you who want to know how you can feed yourself, don't come in for free ride. Understand if you're helping the others or whatever. This is the Chinese way of doing it. They have done it. It's nearly 6-7 months they're not eating. They just take water, but all the energy they need is in it. I've been with the guy. I've seen him. He was here in Ghana for about 4 or 5 days with us.
Mr. Keshe?
Yes.
Ruth is coming among panelists. I think that she can speak now.
Yes. Hi, Ruti. Hello. Hello.
Ruti, you unmute.
Hello, Mr. Cash.
Hi, darling. How are you? You're back in China? You returned home?
Yes, I'm in the airport. I was delayed. My flight was delayed for more than 7 hours, and
Okay.
the internet is not so good. But I just see somebody said that you want to talk with me or something about China. So I didn't know the story. So I just then tried
No, we're
to.
looking for James to, if he can. Okay. Yeah, it's just that we wanted him if he can participate tomorrow live, or we replay his teaching tomorrow for the people in Europe which are very well looked after. They're going hungry.
You mean James or Charles?
James. Charles, the guy who doesn't eat.
Oh, that Charles.
Charles.
Yeah, he just offline. He was there translating your teaching all the days, but he just left for a moment, and then you were looking for him. So it's unfortunately. But I heard somebody was calling him there. I think maybe he will back.
It'll be nice if he come on tomorrow and teach what he's done.
Is there someone
tomorrow?
ED at QQ?
No, don't release anything in the background, please. You know these pandas sitting there to bother people. So it's
his account is peaceful here.
Yes, I know. But what we want to do, if he will participate tomorrow in teaching how the Europeans feed themselves, are very hungry.
Okay, I'll check with him. Yeah.
Please, tomorrow, 2 o'clock Central European time, please.
Okay, 2 o'clock. That means 8 o'clock in the night. So I'll check with him and leave message to you. Okay.
Okay, thanks very much, Rudy. If you can explain or if you can't be there, we can replay, but it'll be nice if people want to listen to it. Thank you very much. Safe journey
You're welcome.
home.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Mr. Kish,
I think
had posted recently, yesterday in fact, something called My Tower, and it's about copying the fields into the water for supporting people that don't have enough food or nutrition. Do you want to see that that list, or is that there's some pictures as well with some bottles and fruit and so on? Or do you want to wait till tomorrow? Maybe it'd be more appropriate then.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, now.
We're back again. Okay, no problem. Yes, why not let them do it? It's part of the Keshe Foundation teaching. It's part of the peace program. Food, hunger brings anger and war. This way, at least we can teach if you got stuck in the jungle, how you can feed yourself with the water. Thank you very much. Any other question?
This is John here. A couple of weeks ago with Dr. Rodrigo, we talked about a system which would be very simple, and I'm testing this out, and I will in very short time be able to give you results.
What is this system supposed to do? Bring peace or war? Or does it do anything with the hunger?
Patches to get rid of hunger and thirst.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much indeed. Let's see what we do with the Chinese tomorrow, and then we use the knowledge of Dr. Rodriguez in another time. That was part of the private teaching, am I correct?
Yes, a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, it's about the same time as Charles. That day, I think, was for food that week. Thank you very much indeed. Are there any other questions?
Look in the live stream. Well, here's a question from Trevor. He says, question, is Mr. Keshe human? If not, where is he from and who is the we he refers to? If world peace was tried 3 times before and this time is the last,
we did not try the world peace. We gave the world leaders twice chance to do it. They didn't do it this time. We do it as humans. The same as what we done with our pattern. These people twist the word. We set up for world leaders to do it. This time we do it ourselves. World leaders can join if they like. Something very interesting has come up. We can put this. It's a very interesting thing just been sent to me. It's by Mr. Lorenz talking very bad about me. I would like to promote it because it's good to see what your friends tell about you. Forget about your enemies. Please listen to this. This is. Can you put this up, please? If you can, on the main screen. Is on the chat. Then we have to see it's exactly the same thing as this link is for Mr. Lorenz praising the work. You can, I don't think if it's legal, we can do it. But it's on the YouTube, it's for public. It belongs to us. We have to see how he praises, and then we have to listen to it nowadays, what it is. Any other question?
Okay. Let's see. Any questions from our panelists today? Okay, Valentin says he has a question in the Q&A. Okay, I haven't followed some of the questions in the Q&A here. Sorry about that. Okay, so let's see, it's got a number of comments here. Trying to find the question. Okay, how about Libby? Libby asks, well, it's a tough question. She says, why do you berate the knowledge seekers who dedicate all their time to supporting the foundation? I do not understand why you do this, Mr. Keshe. So many people want... Libby says this in the Q&A. She wants to know something about so many people want only the best for you in the foundation, and I do not understand why you belittle all the people who stand with you.
I don't understand. What does that mean?
I will try to explain it. I love you, Mr. Keshe. I love the foundation. I admit I came in late, so I may have missed something. But when I came in, the tone in my ears, and maybe it was only my ears, was so belittling of the people in Europe and the rest of the world who are not in Ghana and who are not in China. And I feel
the thing is, no. Let me stop you, please.
Certainly.
We served Europe. We got threatened, shot at, done everything possible. We are not demeaning. We are not going in any shape or form trying to... you got to understand what is coming out of Europe against Keshe Foundation. Why nobody in Europe goes and stands against Mr. Lorenz and the rest of them? Why do you allow it to happen? Which one of you stood for the foundation to support and shut this thing down? None. You're all audiences. A lot of supporters. I thank you very much. But how much can one take? I love you. I serve the same everywhere. You know the European law, your names has been put everywhere. Why no European takes a hand up to stop all these things? We went to Africa because in Europe, there was nothing but problem. They brought the problem to Africa, but we're making flowers out of it. How much I spent, how many times, how long we spent in Europe. What did we achieve? Me and my family got poisoned, shot at high speed, and still you're taken to court for what? And the most heinous act goes on. My hand is being damaged by him. I won $1. Which one of you went to the court to stand and talk, and he could talk? Which one of the Europeans we helped with all the health units that you walked away healthy, went to court, said, I'm here, I've been served, there is something wrong. Do not touch my nerve, it's very sore.
I would say, sir, all of us have stood with you in spirit.
I understand, Levi, but you have to understand something very straightforward.
Okay.
The Keshe Foundation European supporters are solid. The Keshe Foundation in Africa, as solid as the Europe. Chinese, worse, they're 100%. But maybe by talking, we get people standing up. Maybe you're the first one to say why you're doing it. Maybe we have to do it for some people to start moving. How come such a strong European Keshe Foundation supporters are sitting silent with YouTube and the rest, and they don't shut all this thing down? So 4 of them are making 200 telephone calls to the press in Ghana a day. How many Keshe Foundation made one remark to YouTube? 0. Absolutely 0. And they say, why doesn't he let him do it? You are the Keshe Foundation. They're insulting you. This thing that's rapidly put out in past 48 hours. Ghana Atomic, blah, blah. We open the book of the Ghana Atomic. In there, I read it for you. It says they have no certification, nothing standard. That was a standard board. It's on our product. It's getting sold. Maybe it's time for 7 billion to wake up again. These 4 thieves are backed out. Maybe my pain and suffering wakes you up to do something about this. Shut this thing down. Get it off the internet. One terrorist has terrorized 4 of them. Mr. Dirk, Sylvester in South Korea, and 1 German and 1 Australian, taking the whole internet to ransom. They're all Europeans. What have you done about it? Nothing. Why am I so bitter? Because you put yourself in that position. Not me. I stayed 15 years of being shot at and everything else in Italy and in Belgium. Only if I had something free, you came. If I was giving knowledge free, they came. Please, if you say I'm wrong, rise up, shut these things down. It's 4 people, over 4 million supporters in Europe, nobody's moving. If 40 of you wrote, 100 of you wrote to you, to them, to the others and the others, they shut it down. Nobody has done. Collectively, you put all these teams together, all these things, chat groups. Where is the support? Why can't you shut 4 people? 4 people.
I would say those 4 people are behind a very huge system that has been controlling the world for a very long time, and that the work that we are doing is exactly the work you've asked us to do, which is to internalize, to go inside, to change ourselves so that we can be as we are made in the image of the Creator, as you've taught us, and that we are shining our light, and that the changes are happening. But like the plasma, it's invisible, and we just have to keep doing the inner work and coming and learning what you're teaching us. and it may not be
Okay,
visible.
can I stop you? I teach you
Yes.
something else. Let me
Yes.
ask you something else. I teach you something else. You have to stand for your rights, the way I do in the course, the way I stand with with Ghana. Keshe Foundation supporters, you make all these chat groups. Make a group to shut these things down from Facebook and others. Thousands of you. Bombard Facebook and the rest to shut them down, and the other server. Go to the police, your names are on it. So you ask me, you do what I say and you do this and that, shut them down. I'll give you 1 week. Get together, organize straight away. Get lawyers, send by lawyers, it costs you nothing. My name has been abused. We have, what's his name? Eric Clausen. He's been made a victim and he's done so much work around the foundation. Why doesn't he put his name in? Why don't you write my names? Go on the victims about Keshe. You put down, this is what is accusation, you put it out. Why are you taking it? You raised a beautiful point. Why am I angry? Because I'm my own. You all come, you support because you get knowledge, you get inspired. How many of you stood next to me? 6 people went to court and they've written to me yesterday, we are not going for the last time. 4+ million supporters in Europe. We watch all the nets. Where is your organization? That you go, you get lawyers, is your names, shut it down. I have to do it. I have to get angry with it as well, because I'm on my own. You're all supporting, praising, nothing.
Mr. Keshe, it's Caroline. Good morning.
No, please stop, Caroline. You and I have paid enough for the stupidity of these nations.
Maybe they never learned to stand up for themselves. Maybe it's time for us to show the path that you can stand. You can prevent.
I do stand.
We do. But we have to show them the path that they can do as well. And there is no shame.
Step down. Just leave it. They don't listen. They're 4 years. They've all been sitting here. Why don't you stop them? Is your names on it? Stop it. You got poisoned. You got shot at. Our child got nearly killed in the back of the car, being shot at and rolled over. They don't care. To them, it's just a story. We're just giving the free knowledge for them. Let's see if you Keshe Foundation supporters put a team and get a lawyer and shut it down. I don't do it. You got to do it. I give you the knowledge. It's a payback time. Spend time to protect yourself, not me. It's a beautiful day today. We remember Fabio's gorgeous life. It's been good, but let us go and make it better. Thank you very much for today.
I love you, Mr. Keshe. Thank you.
I love humanity. I hope they love themselves to protect themselves.
We do.
Thank you, Rick.
Thank you.
I think it'll be nice if we finish with a video of Fabio. He brought a lot of joy to us. There will be no afternoon session today. We start tomorrow and we take on with the peace. Remember one thing, you're not a cult. And when we find a church, we call it Church of Soul of Man. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Keshe. And that'll be the end of the 179th Knowledge Seekers Workshop for July 6, 2017. We'll end with the Fabio video here. Thank you everyone for attending.